Welcome to the Rainforest Challenge 2013. This has been a very difficult race in terms of for man and machine and the monsoon, which has hit us from day one. The conditions of the campsite are all wet, muddy, damp, and it's 24 hours rain. So, welcome to the RFC.
The 2013 Rainforest Challenge, RFC for short, would best be described as the wettest. It encountered the most unrelenting monsoonal rains ever seen in the 16-year history of the RFC. The most massive flooding in the east coast region of Peninsular Malaysia in 10 years. And the most detours encountered than any other RFC to escape from the widespread inundation, both on-road and off-road. In some areas, it was literally a water world. There was no sunshine at all throughout the 10 days of the event. Everyone and everything brought into the event had to endure the constant rain, dampness, high humidity, soggy muddy grounds, and perpetually wet conditions. For the foreign teams, some coming from the other end of the world, it has been an exhausting journey for both man and machine. However, it has been a worthwhile trip. Now at last, they have arrived in Malaysia, the home of the mother event, the RFC. All was sunny and bright in Kuala Lumpur for the participants arriving from Europe and Asia. It was time to enjoy urban lifestyle shopping and entertainment during the day and night. Time to be at ease before D-Day. Teams and officials alike were in high spirits of scrutineering. The many months of preparation have been worthwhile. Now, it is time to have their vehicle and equipment checked and rechecked before entering the punishing jungle terrain. The team's mental and physical strength, along with the vehicle and equipment, must be in tip-top condition for the RFC. This is not called one of the world's top 10 toughest motor races for nothing. It was Razamataz's time at the RFC presentation day of competitor teams at Publica, a lifestyle shopping, living and entertainment venue in Kuala Lumpur on the 28th of November. This year, both the scrutineering and public days were held in Kuala Lumpur.
We gonna make it! Twilight Zone! Ready for the Twilight Zone. You better ready to the Twilight Zone.
A reassuring welcome speech by RFC founder and creator, Mr. Lewis J.A. Wee, to all of the competitor teams coming from Europe and Asia. Some are first-timers here, while others have many years past RFC experience. However, upon arrival here, everyone is already a winner. The next phase of the RFC is the jungle competition, and if the projected weather reports are correct, it will not be as smooth going as it is now, nor as dry or sunny. It was a reminder that will be well remembered by everyone in the following days to come. But for now, it's camaraderie time for everyone, which included the Korean-American TV heartthrob Ricky Kim here in Publica, the first official function of the 2013 RFC in Kuala Lumpur. To save the wear and tear on these specially prepared 4x4 competition vehicles, car transporters were used for the long on-road transfer to Kuala Terengganu. A night loading at Chorus Hotel in Kuala Lumpur, and the following day the unloading at Premii Hotel in Kuala Terengganu. The long transport day from Chorus Hotel in Kuala Lumpur to Kuala Terengganu was given the VIP treatment, with a Royal Malaysian Police escort from D-Day -1 and lasted for the entire 10 days of the event. No more sunny days as soon as they reached the east coast state of Terengganu. Continuous downpours all the way, a sign of more wet days to come.
Welcome to Terengganu. Yeah, the rain is breathing. Terengganu welcomes you with the rain.
The official welcome and briefing for the 2013 RFC was held at the host hotel, the Premii Hotel Terengganu. This comprised the introduction of the organising committee, participants and media from Europe and Asia, covering 25 countries. The route, the adventure and the twilight zone in Terengganu will be awesome, and expect a wet time this year, said Lewis. But unknown to everyone, it was going to be more than a wet time. It was going to be a super wet time that would last for the entire duration of the RFC. It was a stormy start right away on D-Day. Getting ready for the convoy to the flag-off venue was already a challenge in the rain. A stormy monsoon start indeed for RFC 2013, with wind and rain all at once blowing across Pulau Rasan, facing the Terengganu River, which is situated next to the 200-year-old Chinatown. No dampening of the spirit and passion of the participants, media, supporters and spectators. Whatever the weather, everyone is here to be counted and nothing, not even the monsoon, can stop them now. Altogether, a total of 25 different nationalities, ranging from participants and media members, officials, were recorded in this 70th edition of Mother RFC. This is the first face-off for the 35 off-road competition teams, and together with their support crew, media and event officials, totalling 150 off-road vehicles that would last till the end of the event on the 9th of December and beyond. After the flag off, come rain or shine, the show must go on. And so it did at the 2 public days of the prologue special stages at Marang. The wet, soggy grounds raised the level of difficulty of the SS a few notches, but there was no let-up in the action by anyone. Welcome, it's showtime. It was also a clash of top contenders from Europe and Asia. Among the leading contenders were the 5-time Russian off-road champion of Team 111 from Moscow, the reigning RFC champion of Team 104 from Vladivostok, and the ex-RFC 2005 and 2006 champion, Team 117 from Malaysia, who was considered the dark horse for being missing in action from RFC since 2007. The 35 teams were a mix of both past RFC teams and newcomers from Malaysia, Belgium, Bulgaria, China, Korea and Russia. Ricky Kim of Dream Team Survival TV series from KBS Korea and the ladies team 101 also put up a spectacular show. For every man, woman and machine presented here, these are the toughest of the tough, with extraordinary willpower. The spectators, out to see if Team 117 could make a competitive comeback since being out of action for the last 5 RFCs. They will not be disappointed. It was here in the prologue that the cool and calm Tan Eng Ju proved his driving skills were still well and truly there, winning 9 out of 12 SS. The race to the top has begun. Reigning champion Team 104 didn't score as many 100 points here, but they still completed all SS, putting them in a top 5 position, along with another leading contender Team 111. By the time the event moved to Campsite 1, the Predator at Machang, the heavens opened up again, with more showers, in some areas receiving over 900 millimetres of rain accompanied by high winds. The battle for SS 13 to 18 was still fought out with great passion here. Come rain or shine, not only from the leading teams but from the rest of the contenders. When the tarmac roads became inundated with floodwaters, it usually means trouble ahead. They were not wrong. The waiting was long and the rains were unrelenting. The route into Campsite 2, the Terminator, in Canterbury District was, at last cancelled with confirmation by the authorities in the late afternoon. Therefore, an impromptu detour Padang Kabur had to be activated to escape the floodwater. Both the off-road and on-road routes were encircled by the floodwaters. Thus, the battle to escape the wet entrapment had begun. That detour turned out to be the longest night, with different groups having their own adventure getting in and out, and making their own camps along the way between the intermittent rain and rising waters. It was not until the afternoon of 4th of December that the regrouping was completed and everyone was able to tackle the next stage. By the 5th of December, the next stage, while we come to Malaysia, was to be the Twilight Zone, which needs no introduction by now, the ultimate battle of them all. Under the present circumstances of continuous monsoonal rains and winds, it would take more than nerves of steel and camaraderie to complete this section. The order was finally given for marshals, officials, medics and 8 groups of competitor teams of 3 cars in each group to proceed. The going in was a full-blown battle for man and machine, with their winches working overtime. The massive downpour had also devastated the unstable slopes along some sections, resulting in massive landslides of gluttonous mud and debris. It was only 7 kilometres inside, they said. Even with machinery, it would take days to clear. After weighing the pros and cons and with a heavy heart, the consensus by organisers, officials and competitors was to keep the event intact and resume the competitive sections. To enable this to happen, the Twilight Zone was cancelled.
I'm really so sorry about this situation because a lot of competitors prepare from this Twilight Zone, from this stage, and I think it's not impossible to pass from here because a lot of trees fall down and very dangerous.
Okay, as we see there just now in front, there is a big landslide, maybe about 50 to 100 meter long landslide. So we decide to cancel the Twilight Zone. We need your opinion about this. Can I have any suggestion?
Он спрашивает ваше мнение.
Okay. So I need everybody to agree about this. Agree about this. To cancel the Twilight Zone. Okay.
But even turning back was to prove an equally daunting task. With the expedition stage in the Twilight Zone cancelled, the focus was now on the competitive stages by the 6th and 7th of December. By now, only 25 teams out of the 35 teams are left to finish the 2013 RFC. The top 10 standing teams, including Team 108, 106, 109, 118, 131, 102 and 144 were fast and furious to reach the top spots. However, The battle lines for the top three are now clearly drawn up. It's Team 117 from Malaysia, 104 and 111 from Russia. No margin of error for these teams. The rain makes a big difference of how the convoy moves in and out of the campsites and even on the outcome of the route itself. But in the process, it brings out the best from the participants. The regrouping area was the key to movements in and out of the campsites of Padang Kabu and Pasar Raja. No let up in the fight to the finish for the 25 teams left. It's now or never. However, for the current champion Team 104, all the way from Russia, its fate was sealed at SS27 with a DNF, thus paving the way clear for Team 117 from Malaysia. They started off as the dark horse for this year's RFC, but in the end, they were the overall champions.
RFC ini tahun hujan lebat, banyak tempat tak boleh masuk.
Heavy rain.
Jalan pun rosak, tanah lontut.
The road is not good, not good condition, and got flood everywhere.
Tahun 2000 sampai sekarang tahun ini paling teruk lah.
From 2000 till now, this year is the very worst condition in the RFC.
My name is Wouter. I'm from the team Desert Fox from Belgium. Yes, this is our first time in RFC and it's a great experience. I like the race very much. It's a pity that the weather cancelled some of the races. But apart from that, most SS's were nice stages and we had some great fun. There were some technical stages, some less technical stages, but it was great fun to drive. What we learned here is that the car has to be well prepared for wet conditions. So you can have some electrical problems because of the very wet condition. All week it's permanent, very wet, and the car never dries out. So you have to prepare for very wet conditions. That's important.
For me, Team 101, Nurin and Yati, this is the second time we take part in RFC. Compared to our first time together in Malacca, this year is tougher. Okay, in everything, in the SS, number of team. This year compared to last year, this year is more. And then instead of nature, last year was in Malacca, so there's no rain, almost no rain. Yeah, but very little. But this year, a lot of rain, almost every day, all the times raining. Just a few hours, okay, but after that the rain come down.
For most people, they probably wouldn't enjoy it because it's wet, it's dirty, it's loud. As much as you organize it, you can't control Mother Nature. So, to the normal eye, it seems very, very unlikable. But for me, I like the adventure of not knowing what's next. And I like to be out here in the wilderness where there's no cell phones, there's no TV, the music comes from a small guitar, and it's nature. I love it. RFC is not only about just racing, it's about the brotherhood and the family of RFC and outdoors. So I had a great time.
Rain is certainly the king in the RFC, as we always say. But never in the history of our 16 years have we come across such unrelenting downpours throughout the entire 10 days of the event. Mother Nature wins again. But for all the adventurers who had survived through this epic year, it was also a satisfying triumph of the human spirit to endure. It was also a triumph to preserve through such a messy, tough time. This is the stuff that champions are made of, and legends are born. This edition is dedicated to the many men and women of the 2013 RFC for overcoming the odds, come rain and high water. Until next year, take care.